Teeth podcasts, so I wouldn't necessarily know. You see how I'm being neutral about this right now? So I know, but I don't. I don't know all of it because I don't watch all of them. He's probably seen only a couple and said, "Oh, they're all cringy." He's probably seen the ones that had the fucking cringy cast members on it. To be really fair, I can't even name on top of my head who's the fucking cringy people. But all I know is that he probably got into a Rooster Teeth podcast that was cringy as all fucking hell. And on top of it, he probably tuned into Always Open. He probably did. Or he probably saw a clip from Always Open. So, that's a yes and no that it's cringy and it's not.
Rooster Teeth is shutting down due to challenges facing digital media resulting from fundamental shifts in consumer behavior and monetization across platforms, advertising, and patronage, wrote Jordan Levine, general manager of Rooster Teeth. No, it's because your content sucks now.
Not just their content. So their content sucks now, yes.
You got rid of everybody involved with Rooster Teeth that actually brought eyeballs, and you paywalled
This I agree with.
all of your content.
That I also agree with as well. That fucking bullshit Rooster Teeth first shit. I mean, granted, it was only like $5 a month, right? I mean, they were trying to be nice about it. They were trying to.
Yeah, but I do think they had to paywall it because the monetization.
Rooster Teeth. No, it's because your content sucks now. You got rid of everybody involved with Rooster Teeth that actually brought eyeballs, and you paywalled all of your content.
Yeah, but I do think they had to paywall it because the monetization across platforms, advertising, etc. Yeah, that does have something to do with it, but the patronage probably is because you paywalled it. But
yep,
they probably had to because of the advertising.
No, because the shit, right? The shit that they released that was free, and on top of it, which that's not even a fraction of the issue. What's really the issue is that they blew too much of their fucking budget. They blew it all in the fucking genlock. What happened around Ruby Volume 4? Whoever remembers what happened around Ruby Volume 4 and 5, by the way, because when they announced, hey, we got Ruby Volume 4 coming out, everybody was happy for some more good Ruby content. However, not everybody was aware of behind the scenes until after Volume 4. They blew their budget from Volume 1 to 3 and 4 into genlock because they said, why the fuck not, right? Let's make another good show. Air quote, good show. Granted, genlock was just a fucking ripoff of all the really good mechas, and I think the one that actually stood out the most was Evangelion. I think that's what I think it was also I think it was a huge reference to Evangelion, because I think Evangelion had people sitting in the cockpits. But even in Gundam, you have people sitting in the cockpits of the mechs too. So that doesn't make any sense either. But in genlock, nobody was sitting in the cockpits. There was no cockpit. So in genlock, you're just uploading your brain. But even then, that's still some rip-off shit from other popular shit. You're literally SAOing your way through a fucking mech that is totally inspired by Gundam and Armored Core. That's also what it was too, Armored Core. And they probably played a lot of Armored Core and be like, man, would it be awesome? Or watch a lot of Gundam and other mechas and be like, man, wouldn't it be awesome if we can make our own show? Oh, but where are we going to get the funding from it? Ruby. Wow. That sounds like a great idea. No, it's not.
We pointed this out before. Rooster Teeth as a YouTube channel has been dying for years. And it's basically people are tuning out. I mean, at this point, Rooster Teeth gets less than half of the views that we
what?
get. Okay, now they pulled a lot of content off, but they have been bleeding out subscribers for years, and they've also gotten crazy political.
Yeah, they did. They also ripped off the fucking logo. Like the color scheme? I mean, no, not well. They didn't really rip off the fucking logo or color scheme of fucking Zaxby's, but they ended up just looking like a fucking branch of Zaxby's.
Just in 2020, this is Rooster Teeth. This is making the rounds again now that they've gone out. They're going out.
This is your regular reminder that we happily and proudly stand for social justice. Jesus. We have no tolerance for racism, sexism, or harassment of any kind. If you're not with us, this isn't an airport. No need to announce your departure. What? What? No longer an active account. Archive only. Follow us on IG and TT. What the fuck is that? 20 years of fun and games, and we're just getting started. What the fuck? All right, whatever. What is RT's stance on adults? See people on this fucking bullshit. Again, they bred a toxic community. That is the issue. Rooster Teeth, like when Ruby was finally being kicked off, right? It started with Ruby, unfortunately, because why? Anime. It was a 3D animation made by Monty and that attracted all sorts of fucking problems. And Monty had to fucking go out on Twitter and say, if you don't like my show, don't fuck it. He didn't cuss, but he said, if you don't like my show, don't watch it. That's what he said. Based answer, and I applaud him for it, and I'm actually happy he said that. And I love his show at the time. But then after he passed, it got worse. Because they said, open the gates.
Regular reminder that we happily and proudly stand for social justice. We have no tolerance for racism, sexism, or harassment of any kind. If you're not with us, this isn't an airport. No need to announce your departure.
They're gone now, so. Yeah,
no need to announce that you're against racism, sexism, and harassment. Most normal people are, right? Just make good shows. That's all you had to do. But then they had the sex scandal. And they had, let's see what else. They had the abuse of their animators, and they fired Joel. I think it was Joel because he was too right leaning. Imagine that, from Texas. Imagine that.
Well, I just thought it was funny because they also had their people out there, in a sex scandal.
Yeah, I know, right? So they were like, we're the good guys. They fired Vic Mignogna almost immediately because of allegations of, and they're to this day, to the best of...
Allegations is just a legal term for accusations. Blatant accusations.
My knowledge, there has been no concrete proof that he actually did any of the things that he was accused of. So they fired him. And then their own people were out there sleeping around.
Some of them wasn't it up for debate whether they were of age?
Of age, yeah. Like some
I'm
of
trying
them.
To remember.
I think my memory is a little foggy, but I think some of them might not have been of age when the relations started, but they came out years later and like, as a groupie, an achievement hunter groupie, and that whole thing blew up. So these people, the people that they kept were actually doing the things that they were accusing Vic Mignogna of doing. Then Achievement Hunter, they shut that down. And then Red vs. Blue is based on Halo, and Halo's deader than a doornail right now. They've killed that franchise, so nobody cares. And Ruby, that whole fandom is freaking batshit.
Yeah. Their whole fandom. And honestly, as somebody who's still a Ruby fan, just don't like volumes 4 to 9, and I still watch it because so that way that gives me more room to fucking shit on it even more and let that boat sink even faster. Because, I mean, bitch in the deaf ears, but
and nobody cares. So, what they got? A podcast. Then they were like, oh, guys, we're gonna reinvent ourselves, and they had this really cringy millennial humor from 15 years ago, like what was that, Dog Park or Dog Bark or whatever the hell that thing
that
was.
was bad.
And it was like, it's like you can't do that on television, but with adults. And I'm like, that's freaking
that's the mentality.
Weird.
Yeah.
All right, as part of
they
the
want to skew young.
they want to, yeah, maybe they do. Maybe that is part of the
They
mentality.
identify younger.
God, as part of the shuttering, the Roost Podcast Network, which contains more than 80 podcasts, will remain in operation. So they're going to probably try to shop the podcast around.
That's what they're doing, yeah.
Well, podcasts don't have the overhead that the other content does, right? Especially animation.
And I mean, they have the animation in the catalog, so of course they're going to shop that around. They're not going to shut that down right out because that'd be dumb. You can make money off that. Same with the podcast. You can make some money off it, but the network in general just isn't.
I mean,
I don't know about that. I really don't. Half their podcasts are fucking shit. And I know this for damn sure, too. By the time Rooster Teeth, or former Rooster Teeth, air quote, by the way, you can't see me doing the air quote shit, because I don't have my fucking avatar being fully tracked right now. But it's going to be hella fucking cringy the moment they release that podcast, and you start hearing them fucking crying their fucking eyes out over an envisionment that they had that never existed in the first place.
they were trying to make it stick. They're trying to shop around Ruby and Genlock and Red versus Blue.
I thought they were before, but
Open source that shit.
maybe not.
You open source that shit, and that's like free from your fucking budget concerns.
They've been trying to make these stick. They actually had a Ruby crossover with Justice League and the
That was a fucking mistake.
comic books, and they've been just trying to make Ruby happen. And it's like it.
How very Disney.
How
Anyway.
very Disney. It wasn't going to, but you could see the struggle. You could see them like trying very hard to figure out what they were, and they don't fit in.
No, they don't. That's why I always tell people too. That's why you don't do crossovers. You don't mix universes, because when you mix universes and do these crossovers, they don't work. That's why I had beef when people, especially fans, by the way, I hate it. I always hate it. You cannot mix universes. There's a reason why they're in their own universe and not in the same universe together. You cannot. And I also hate it when fans do this too. I mean, they go, "Oh, but it's fun." Bro, logically speaking, it's brain dead. For example, having Star Wars and Halo in the same fucking universe. No, it does not fucking work. Because logically speaking, right? If you have factions from two separate universes fight each other out, the Star Wars factions will fucking win. Because they have more super weapons, and on top of it, they have more firepower. The Covenant, yeah, their ships are larger. They have shielding, but the type of shielding they have blocks projectiles. Yeah, of course, but it goes out when there's other energy weapons. So it doesn't work. No, you cannot mix two fucking universes.
With Hollywood. Now, if Rooster Teeth had remained...
So with Justice League, with Ruby X Justice League, it doesn't work. You cannot mix two universes together. Justice League is all about fighting crime. Ruby is all about fighting for survival. Okay? And on top of it, the Grimm are nastier than fucking all the villains in Gotham. And on top of it, the villains are far more smarter in Ruby than the ones in fucking Gotham. At least in volumes 1 to 3. Salem had people literally, like, okay, if you have Salem, look at all the fucking villains that all the shows in general that people love, right? Salem would just look at the fucking villains and be like, you all are fucking amateurs. Except I think she would be a little bit on par with Palpatine.
Independent, you know, how they started, and they just had their own YouTube channels and their own podcasts and the original.
Whereas the villains in Justice League are fucking goofy as shit. And honestly, I don't watch DC nor Marvel for a fucking reason. I don't. I do not watch them, and I keep hearing a lot of references about it. And the more and more I keep talking about it with regular DC and Marvel fans, the more and more I'm noticing, like, so these villains are fucking lousy whack jobs, and they're not even fucking real villains. They're just something to cheer a 5-year-old up.
Crew were still involved because Bernie Burns, I think he started a podcast, and it became like one of the most listened to podcasts. I think his first episode actually beat Joe Rogan. So I'm like, there is an audience, there is an appetite for people associated with Rooster Teeth, or at least the OG crew.
Yes.
Not where the hell.
But Bernie had to leave Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth is now.
Yeah.
I said the company, which is headquartered in Austin, was founded in 2003, began with Red versus Blue, based on Halo, which that's an uncomfortable situation there, I'm sure. And then they tried.
It started off as a machinima at first, and then they tried making it its own series, and then trying to make a profit out of that one. Which, by the way, you can easily get sued for that.
I did like deviate from that, and they had this other like new version of it where they had designs that didn't look like Halo. This is weird. They had Genlock with Michael B. Jordan.
Genlock was a fucking disaster. Like, okay, it was good. They should have ended it with season 1. Also, again, like I keep saying, the past, wow, already almost an hour. So the past 20 minutes, right? They blew all that budget in the Genlock, which, by the way, they used that budget from Ruby.
Which most people forgot about. The studio last recorded having 150 employees, but the number impact is still unclear given the potential for sales and having some contractor positions. Every story reaches its final page. Rooster Teeth's closure isn't merely an end. It reflects broader business dynamics. Monetization shifts, platform algorithms, advertising challenges, and the ebb and
What?
flow of patronage.
Wait, so it reaches its final pages. Isn't the end? Isn't merely the end? But it is. And the thing is, you did it to yourself because the monetization shifts. Okay, that one I'll give you because it's true. Advertising challenges, business dynamics, patronage. You shouldn't paywalled it. I mean, I get why you did, but when you paywalled it, a lot of your people want it free. They're just gonna go someplace else. They'll give.
When you start free, you keep it free. Ruby was free. It wasn't on a bullshit website like Rooster Teeth's website.
Free.
Yeah, a lot of people noped out. They're like, well, if you're going to paywall it and you're making us go to your website like it's 2008.
I mean, right or wrong. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And, animation's expensive. And Ruby, I mean, the fandom has a reputation. Let's just say the fandom has a reputation.
The fandom has a nasty fucking reputation and quite a controversial one at that point.
But I don't want to hear a damn thing from any of these Rooster Teeth stands because we were right.
Yeah. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe the crap we got. You talk about
and I'm not even against these two. I know I sound like I'm hella critical. I'm actually with these two on what they're saying right now. Like, they have a point. I've never seen, like, I haven't seen anything like about like them foreshadowing or not foreshadowing. I'm sorry. If they even see my content, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. What I'm actually trying to say is that when they called it, that's what I'm trying to say, not foreshadow. What the fuck? When they called that Rooster Teeth is going to go out of business, people apparently were giving them shit like they just said. I'm not giving them shit, but I've never seen that video, so I wasn't even aware. Plus, even then, it's like I'm not. If I did see that video, like I'm saying as it is right now, I would be neutral about it because I don't know what's like. I do know what's coming, but there's always a slight different outcome.
3 years now. 3 years.
We very, very rarely mentioned it. You
No.
know, we hardly ever mentioned it. It was just like it came up.
We have done almost, can you believe in the time we've been doing this? Almost 6,000 videos on this.
Oh my God.
6,000 videos. And
I believe it.
In 6,000 videos, we've mentioned Rooster Teeth maybe a couple of dozen times as it's come up. But most of the news about Rooster Teeth has been the news that this company is dying. Like it's very obvious that they are going to get chopped, and especially in the last 2 years.
I already knew that the company was dying, but I didn't know when it was actually going to end.
And there it is. You know, I'm actually surprised.
Then again, I was just like, they will die at some point.
It took this long. I think that Warner Brothers was probably dealing with bigger issues, you know, and they're like, "Oh, Rooster Teeth, yeah, we forgot about you. We forgot all about you because you don't bring much." So.
You know what? That's pretty much what Warner Brothers would do anyway.
So yeah, you're done. You're done. So let's go out to Twitter.
Rooster Teeth studio behind Ruby and Red versus Blue has been shut down by Warner Brothers. Discovery story below.
Twitter here. Niche Gamer Rooster Teeth.
Volume 9 was such a shit volume.
Has been shut down. What are people saying? David Zaslav is taking no prisoners.
Warner Brothers couldn't handle Ruby going full. Oh God.
Warner Brothers couldn't handle Ruby going full LTG. Oh my God. Yeah. Joker stairs moment. It was dead ever since Monty passed on. That was true with Ruby. Once he died, they just kind of like dragged the corpse around. Yeah, a lot of people were mentioning
that.
Yeah, they did. And you know what? They actually agree with it too.
Said it went the way of the W word.
Like, yeah, granted, they don't.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I said not surprised. They went.
At least we're on the fucking same page.
Woke hard AF. Their words, not mine.
They did go woke hard as fuck.
Ruby hasn't been the same since going downhill fast since the death of Monty.
Yup. Everybody's saying the same shit now that Rooster Teeth is gone.
Rooster Teeth used to be really good. Well, yeah, like I said, Bernie came back. He did a podcast, and he did very, very well. Like, people will watch Bernie. They'll probably watch Jeff and some of the other people, but it's not Rooster Teeth. Ruby got woke and gay.
Yep, it did.
And now broke since the ESG money is gone.
Yep.
Oof. Well, like somebody tagged us in. Lightbringer. Clownfish Neon. Clownfish was right. Guess Justice League Ruby didn't do very well. Mm-hmm. What's going to happen with their shows? You're going to shop them around, but I don't know if anybody's going to take them.
They might, actually, but I don't know. If you're interested in buying those shows, let me recommend one thing to you. If you're a network listening to this, you might want to look into the fan bases on some of these things and the shit you will get.
Oh my God!
Along with it, just putting that out there.
If they go open domain and I actually claim that shit, because I'm going to restore that fucking shit. I will study volumes 1 to 3 like an open fucking book. I will study every fucking environmental storytelling. I will study every fucking word and shit that was said in that fucking show in Ruby. And I will restore that fucking shit. Because this is fucking gross. If that shit goes open domain and I actually claim that shit, that fandom better kiss their ass goodbye. Because if they don't like it, they can go kiss their ass fucking out the window.
That's the thing. Like, you'd be like, okay, well, we've got Ruby, which has a built-in fan base, but do we want that fan base? Or would we be better off spending the money that we would have spent making Ruby to make something completely different? You know?
That'll have new crazed fans.
Yeah, so
on your side.
Yeah, so I don't know if Ruby's going to get an ending then, because I think like season 10 was kind of up in the air, and I don't think they're going to end it unless somebody else wants to come in and end it. We got the crab raid.
And nobody's going to be able to see Vacuo. That's the crazy shit. Nobody's going to see Vacuo. Nobody's going to see the final fight with Salem, right? Nobody's going to see that shit. Nobody's going to know. Nobody will know. Nobody knows what Vacuo's going to look like. Nobody knows what like, all we saw from Vacuo was just all sand. Sand, flying bat Grim that was mentioned in the damn books. That should be redundant, honestly. Because that shit should have been aired. Because nobody wants to read a fucking book and just to find out what happened with Team Coffee. Nobody wants to read that shit. Not a lot of people read a lot of books these days. People would just much rather sit their ass behind a fucking desk and watch some fucking YouTube. Literally, we went to a time period where books are coming out. Everybody can read. And then now that we're here, nobody wants to do that shit because we got TV, we got radios, we got fucking Amazon, we got fucking YouTube, podcasts and shit. Nobody wants to fucking read a book no more. You know? When people go on fucking Twitter and Facebook, all the shit they read, they essentially read 50 fucking chapters worth of bullshit. In a course of a fucking week. That's saying something.
Dave here. Wait, what? You're serious? This hurts a lot. Really hate Dave right now. Warner Brothers, you just ruined our childhood. Yeah, 21 years though. 21 years online. That is a
childhood life. What? Okay.
I know, but if you want to get mad about, some place ruining your childhood, just take a number, because it's been going on for a lot of people for a while.
Yeah. Warner Brothers are great at burning money. I think they let Rooster Teeth go longer than they should have. I think Rooster Teeth probably should have been shut down 2 or 3 years ago because it was very clear. But I think that they were trying to buy time. They're like, humna, we're gonna do podcasts. Oh, guys, guess what? We'll just we'll paywall our content. Give me another 6 months. We'll paywall our content and see if people will pay. That's how we started. Back in the 2000s, that's how we started. We'll just go back. We'll just roll it back like it's 2008. And things will be fine, guys. They'll be fine. No. Good. Matt says, good. They went corrupt a long time ago. They doubled down poor diversity, higher costs for years. Hosts for years, alienating their core audience. Now, as revenue continues to fall, they've ended up at the end of the corporate chopping block. Again, the only reason I think they've been allowed to survive this long with all the scandals and all the other stuff getting shut down is they didn't bring enough to the table, and David Zaslav had a lot bigger fish to worry about. He had like way bigger things he had to deal with, DC and all of that. Now it's like, yeah, we need every damn penny we can get, and you guys are costing us too much money. So.
I'm honestly surprised it made it this long. I thought it'd been gone before now.
Yep, so there it is, guys. It's official. Rooster Teeth is dead. They're dead. They've been dead for years, and Clownfish was right. So, suck a peach, as my daughter likes to say. Suck a peach. We're going to wrap it up?
Yep.
All right, well, one, I'm definitely subscribing to these guys because they do bring some pretty good news. I just don't subscribe to them for some fucking reason, but, at least it will broaden up my radar. So, yep. But, Rooster Teeth is gone. They went hella woke. And poor business practices followed suit on top of it, and now they're gone. So if Ruby actually goes, and I'm going to call it right here, because Warner Brothers does not want to have to do with fucking Ruby at all, first off. Because if they see that shit's fucking not doing so good, they might as well either destroy the show completely, or leave it open source. And honestly, if they destroy it, it's still going to be open source either way. Because they can't really claim it. If they discard the show, they can't really claim it back because that shit just makes it open source either way. So. That's all I got. I don't know why the hell this person's shit is getting on my radar, but we are going to delve a little bit deeper into this, just a little bit, and then I'll cut the stream for now, leave it as the news stream, and then I'll probably be back later on today. But I was trying to chill for today, but yeah, no, they're saying the same fucking shit in here too. That's mainly because that's Rooster Teeth's fucking excuse. It's a shit excuse too. Yep. Anyway, so I'll end it here. That's all I got. So for those that are watching on YouTube when this shit gets uploaded, let me know how you feel about it. Let me know how you feel about the situation. Will Ruby be open sourced? What do you think? Will Ruby be open sourced? If Ruby becomes open sourced, I'm grabbing it. I will grab it and I'm going to restore it. That's going to be another project added to my belt, along with 2 books and 2 games from 2 games that's added onto my project, and also a Ruby mod. By the way, a Ruby mod for Hearts of Iron 4 is a thing. Yes, it is. So check that out. Look it up in the Reddit. It's in Reddit. And yeah. Hope you guys like it, and I'll see you another time. Peace. I can actually get a little bit of sleep for once.